I thought the governor ought to have a few more privileges in terms of the unallotment authority, but the court has acted, and so now it's time for the legislature to act.
Well, what are the odds that the legislature, specifically the DFL leadership and the governor, are going to be able to get together on a big budget agreement, and you've got less than 2 weeks to do it?
Well, I think we know the history on the governor's side in terms of tax increases, which are certainly probably going to go nowhere. As we think about legislative options, they're frankly going to have to involve, I believe, enacting the unallotments that the governor's made. I mean, I think that's the if you will, if there is an easy way out, and there isn't, but if there is, that's it. I think the public is generally used to where we are, and that would seem to me to be the option.
Now, earlier, the governor's budget was put to a vote in the legislature, soundly defeated on a bipartisan basis. Are Republicans at least changing their thoughts on what the governor has proposed?
Oh, I don't think you should put too much into that vote. It was one that we put forward basically to kind of get a sense of where the DFL was, and if we didn't know that, we certainly found out. But that was early in the season. At this point, I think we have to think more seriously about where we are from a timing perspective and where we're going from the standpoint of getting this budget resolved. It's possible, I suspect, that bill may draw a little bit more attention, frankly, more support than it did a couple months ago.
Certainly one element of the governor's unallotment that's gotten a lot of attention is the delay in the school aid payments. Is that likely to be part of this new solution?
Well, I tend to hope so, but we just have to come together and try to work through this, and I think we can. Frankly, we have to. And just thinking about where we are and where we're going to be, we're at the front end of having to solve massive budget deficits next year. So if we can't deal with this one, why will be on to us all that are here next year and trying to deal with it. So I just think we have to step up and deal with where we are and simply resolve this.
Senator, do you think that a special session is going to be needed, that you're going to have to go into overtime because of the magnitude of the situation?
Well, I don't think so. I think I've been here 7 years. I've seen this legislature be able to act in an expeditious way. We've got a week and a half. I don't think politically that there's anybody that wants to be here in the mode of a special session. And I don't think the governor, frankly, wants to call one. As you know, he can call one, but he can't call one off. And I don't think at this point that's on anybody's agenda.
Senator, you're a man of the legislature. Are you at least to a small degree pleased with the court ruling in the sense that it seemed to uphold legislative authority in the unallotment area?
Well, actually, I'm not. I do think the governor of the state of Minnesota, and I don't care which party he or she is, in situations like that, the legislature basically put forth to the governor bills that they knew that weren't going to be acceptable to him, and I think in the situation which existed last May, I think the governor did what he had to do. I think the legislature knew that he was going to do it. I just think he was put in a box that was not acceptable from the standpoint of the legislative process, and he exercised his unallotment authority, and I guess I would support any governor having that, at least as I think about this and what the process ought to be. We should have put forth a budget that, frankly, that he found satisfactory. I think that's the goal of the legislature, working with the governor. And we, frankly, if you go back to 2007 and 2008, we were able to do that, and we were able to do that through negotiations. Last year, those same kind of negotiations did not occur.
Senator, thanks so much for joining us.